Hey everybody, welcome back to the center lane. It's a political discussion for those of us in the middle. The center, we want to come to the center. We want the left, the right to come together to the center to get us something to help our country go forward and help us all out. I'm going to talk about a couple things this week. First off, Mike Johnson, new Speaker of the House. What do you think about that? Mike Johnson, third in line to the presidency, but behind the president, Kamala Harris, and then him. So that's pretty scary. This guy, I'm not going to put him under the bus right out of the gate to see how he does. He might have come to his senses, but 3 years ago, I should say, he was very actively trying to overturn the election results in a lawyerly fashion, not just some guy that said, hey, Trump won. No, he actually went through, that whole deal where I feel that he tried to take my votes away and your votes away and everybody else's votes away. Look, we had plenty of time to figure out that nothing really, there's always going to be a little bit of fraud here and there, but a lot of it's on both sides, so it kind of is the other out. But Mike Johnson actually wrote the legal briefs. He's a constitutional lawyer, which seemed a little bit redundant there. You're a constitutional lawyer, but you want to take away our right to vote? Isn't that in the Constitution somewhere, Mike? Anywho, Georgia, Arizona, Michigan, and Pennsylvania, he wanted to overturn all those results, and he filed a legal brief to do so. And fortunately, he was not able to make it happen. And thank you, Mike Pence, because some of that was for Mike Pence to, put the brakes on it. The problem is, though, now as Speaker of the House, he has a lot more power. They certify the election. So if Trump, Biden, are against each other, which looks like that's what's going to happen, he cannot certify, he cannot, ratify the election results. One good thing, though, is to make you breathe a little bit easier at night is since 2020, they have changed the laws to where he doesn't wield near as much power as he used to. I believe now it's got to go through both House and the Senate and the representatives, and then our vice president is on, is the Democrats. So I think they can still make it go to the courts, and then there's an issue there because there's more conservative judges. But I have a lot more faith in our Supreme Court than I do in the Congress. A lot more. They seem to, for the most part, their decisions that have come down to the popular ones you've seen and heard about, they tend to side more with, sensible and reasonable answers. They denied all the crap from the 2020 fraudulent thing, Hugo Chavez in Venezuela and all that. They threw all that out. So I got a lot of confidence in our courts. I think they are a lot better grounded than our politicians are, for sure. Absolutely, not even close. But it's going to lead to another question here, or I think it's going to be a question that people are going to ask more and more once we have our two candidates picked, which will be Biden and Trump more likely. Is this question will trickle down not just to them, obviously, because the question I'm going to pose is: do you believe 2020 election was rigged? Do you believe that Biden's the legal president? So most people, if you look at the candidates right now that are running against Trump, only Christie and Hutchinson will even say that's a bunch of crap, guys. Trump just poor loser. Everybody else is kind of like, well, we really need to look forward. And, it's like, here's my question to you candidates, even Nikki Haley, who I like, and, a couple of the other ones. I don't like DeSantis, obviously, so he's a no-go. But a couple of other ones I might possibly be interested in. It's like, yes or no? Do you believe the election was stolen? Yes or no? Just a simple question. And if you can't answer that question, I think that's a problem. That's a problem for me, Did I hate everything that Trump did? No, I think he did some good stuff. He stood up to NATO a little bit to make these guys put more money in because we were footing the bill for everybody. He did some things I think were good. But the reason I can never vote for him really boils down to one thing, in my opinion, is 187 minutes he sat on his hands while they were attacking the Capitol. He did nothing for almost 3 hours. That's unforgivable. I don't care. Do I think he started the riot? Not real. He did and he didn't. I don't think he intended for that to happen. But okay, so fine. You ran your mouth. The wrong people got the wrong idea. It's not good. It doesn't excuse your behavior, but then you put that on top of, okay, now this is broken loose. This is happening. This is happening. In front of everybody watched it with their own eyes, what happened. It was horrible. It was horrible. I don't know one person, if they were being honest with themselves, doesn't think that day was one of the worst days in our history that I've been alive. I mean, I've never seen anything quite like that. It was just awful. And I'm thinking the whole time, where the hell's our president? Why isn't he getting on TV right now and saying stop this? He put a couple tweets out that were half-assed. He put one video out that basically said that, yeah, I know you're disappointed that they stole it from us, but go home. You know, that's not handling it. So for me, that disqualifies him. He neglected his duty. A dereliction of duty. I'll leave it at that. So that's why I won't vote for Trump. Like I say, I'm not a Trump hater per se of all the things he did. No, some things were good. Some things, he runs his mouth too much. Everybody knows that. But some things he did were okay. But that day, no way. No way. And then, of course, trying to steal the election, that didn't help either afterwards. This crap is still going on. So that's that in a nutshell. So Speaker Johnson, keep an eye on him. We'll give him a chance. You know what? We'll give him a shot. Maybe he has mellowed. I already heard he's already backpedaling some of the stuff that he had said 3 years ago. So that's a good sign. What I don't like seeing is Marjorie Taylor Greene and Matt Gaetz on TV celebrating a MAGA speaker. Oh, we got the MAGA now. I told you so. Matt Gaetz, cock-a-doodle-doing up around with his point. He's the one that put us in this mess, getting rid of McCarthy 3 weeks ago. So he's got, his whole family. I mean, if you're from Florida, you know about the Gaetzes. They're very, very ambitious. He thinks he's going to be governor and then president someday, and he hopes to inherit the MAGA crowd. That's why he is how he is. He's no dummy. I just don't like him. So anyways, that's him. One other thing I just want to talk a little bit, we were talking about the Hamas and Israel thing, and it's ongoing. I don't know what's the end game. I don't know. That's still up in the air. It really we haven't seen a lot of what could be a definitive ending to this thing, which is really rough. But I would say that, I was unfortunate. I was looking at just the wars in the past in this century, from about 1995 till now. And man, the history of man is just awful. I'm not happy about these numbers, but what was it here? I can't wrote it down. Oh yeah, well, one of the worst wars ever actually happened in Congo from 98 to 2003. It's called the Second Congo War. 5.5 million people were killed. Million. I mean, these are numbing numbers. What happened over in Israel and what's going on there now is just awful. And you think about all those people, and it's terrible. But unfortunately, history shows us that we can get a lot worse than that. Another one, Syria. Almost 500,000 people died in that, 8-year conflict? And you got their ruler, their president, Assad, him and his dad have ruled that country since the 40s. And they're just brutal dictators who don't have any problem killing their own people. I mean, he was pouring poisonous gas in Aleppo and all those, and on his own people. I mean, this guy's just, they're horrible. In Sudan, in Darfur, 300,000 people, 1 year. Africa has got, man, if you really start looking at this, and this country, they don't get the headlines like everybody else does, but man, some stuff going on there is just awful. And of course, Rwanda was in the 90s, and that was 2 million people. I don't know. Like I say, the numbers, they're almost numbing. We hear these numbers and I go, oh, well, it's only 2,000. It's like 2,000 people is a lot of people. One person is too many. And then last but not least, we're having all these issues overseas, and then what happened in Lewiston, Maine, 2 days ago. Now, they still haven't caught the guy. Killed 18 people, shot another 15. That's homegrown. Mental illness, sure. But, we just got to get some kind of common sense gun laws. Like, I have no problem with people having guns, any of that stuff, especially people, 99.9% of people that own firearms are fine. But we got to keep them away from this 0.01% because this guy just spent 2 weeks in the mental hospital not that long ago. He still had his AR-15s and all his arsenal. He's still in the Army, I guess. Weird. Why they didn't, if he was threatening to do stuff to other people in the service, the servicemen around him. I don't know. For some reason, he still had his weapons. In Florida, they have a red flag law. I mean, DeSantis never talks about it because he doesn't like it. But guess what? If somebody's acting irrationally, in Florida, it's legal to go and seize their weapons. They've done it 8,000 times. Rick Scott did that. Rick Scott actually put gun laws in place while he was here. That was one of them. The other one was you had to be 21 to get a pistol. And DeSantis just took that away. So now 18-year-olds can go and grab guns again with reckless abandon. No background checks, right to carry here. It's gone crazy. But he hasn't been able to get rid of the red flag laws. And he doesn't like to talk about it because gun people that really, NHR people really don't want the red flag laws because they think it's it's unconstitutional. You're taking away my property. It's like, yeah, but if you're threatening people, you know, and you got an arsenal at home, look. Since Parkland actually, let's see, we had Pulse in 2016. Parkland was in 17. Since those two events, we haven't had we've had plenty of violence here. There's plenty of crime, but a mass shooting in Florida, we haven't had one. Knock on wood, and I hope we don't. We've had more than several terrible events, but so it does seem like it has it's helpful, because a person who's completely, you know, gone off, you know, lost it, for lack of a better word, and has access to weapons one day and is having a bad day while they've lost it, you know, then, you know, Lewiston happens, and then the thing in Las Vegas, that country western event out there where they killed 50 people, and just on and on. It's just terrible. So anyways, just some common sense stuff. I don't think that's radical in any way, shape, or form. That's not the liberals saying, oh, take away your weapons. It's not. It's just saying, look, man, you know, if somebody's got some real issues, you should be able to, you know, we don't have mental hospitals like we used to, but intervention of some sort, definitely some wellness checks, and just see if we can make sure that this doesn't happen like it seems to happen more than any place else in the world, but here in the United States. So everybody's got their problems, and we have our share, but just something to think about out there, and maybe something will come of this. I mean, it's just terrible, and I feel terrible for the people that were there just enjoying themselves. I saw an interview with one of the sisters. They were just there. It was her night. She worked there at the bowling alley, but they were just playing a game with this little league they're in, and, you know, come on, man. It's just, they just went off to have a good time. It wasn't a good ending. So anyways, thank you very much for checking in. We'll catch with you next week, and have a great day. Thanks.